So hi everybody and welcome back to Unreal Engine 5 full game tutorial series for absolute beginners. This is video 30 and in this video I want to talk again about hard references. In my last video I showed you that hard references is bad, and in this video I want to point out that of course, instead of hard references, you should make one of the alternatives. Other alternatives, there are much more. I showed here, for example, the tag system or the base parent cast system or interface, and there are much other alternatives. Important is that after you use this casting here, that you change in your real project this one to one of these alternatives to avoid this hard cast. And the reason is here why I'm pointing this so out, because even in the Unreal Engine 5 documentation you will see they show this hard cast, or in many other tutorials or in my tutorials as well they show this hard cast. And also this one is also bad. When we try to get an object, we get all actors of class, we get then this reference here, and this one will also create a hard reference. The problem with that is when they show this in the documentation or in their tutorials, they use this because this one is the fastest way to create a reference, where when you make a direct cast or you get this one. The alternatives, for example, which are better, works the same, almost do the same thing, but you have to set it up. You need 2-3 more steps for that. Let me show you, for example, this tag system. You have here a tag, you go to your character, then you have to go to your details, then you have to write here tag in your details, it pops up tag, then you go to the actor, you define here a specific unique name, then you can go back and then you can call here, for example, actor has tag, and you can see this actor has tag is this one, and then you specify exactly that what you have specified here, because you check if this one, for example, here I have an overlap. When the overlap has exactly this tag here, then you say true and then you execute the code. You can see that here in this case it is almost only one step more than this one or two, but actually this one is still fast just for the check, and this casting here is actually doing the same thing but much faster. You gotta just go out, right here BP third person character. If the cast if indeed the character is walking into your fire, then the cast succeeds, which means this AO will execute here. If it's not, then it will just not execute anything here. That's the thing. So you can see this one is just faster on development, and that's why they create on development most time for prototyping this one here, because it's faster. But in real projects, again, they use the tag system or a parent call or an interface call, or I don't know, there are even much more versions here which you can call. The problem is, like I said, to set up this kind of stuff you have to do 3 more steps or 2-3 more steps. And to, for example, when I show you this here on the YouTube, instead of showing now how I create a reference just to one, I just make this version here, and then I show you, for example, what comes after the execution code, not this kind, how I create here a reference. And they are doing this in the documentation, in other tutorials as well. But as a beginner, again, your job is normally use that one here as a prototype and learn one of the other one. And here the best tip comes now. All the other alternatives, they are almost producing no hard reference. The only hard reference is that what we most time use, and that is this the easiest way produce hard reference, but it's the worst actually for the real project. And that is a good news, because if you learn one of them, and they have still other use cases internally a little bit, but still if you learn one of them or 2, then you can all time use them directly. For example, you do a project instead making this prototype, and then avoid hard references, which is good for your project. Again, here one more tip perhaps again. This hard, even if you make hard references, your project, if it's a little project, can work. Even if it's a big project, can work. That's also strange, but can work, because in the end, at the end, what you have to do is just test your project. So you have made a project, and then you go here to profiling, you just package your project. So let's say you have hard cast, whatever, but after you package your project and you tested it, if it runs, yes, it runs. Is it lagging? No, it lags not, then perfect. If it's lagging, perhaps this is one reason, because it's loading all the things at runtime and so on. So my tip is best practice. If you are prototyping, don't worry, you can do this one because it's fast. But later, when you go for your real project, let's say you want to release something, try to make this here one of them, or even better, just make it at start. I mean, this one should be used only for really fast prototyping. You have an idea, just throw it in. Then you make this one because you want to try to realize your idea here, and you don't want to waste time on this cast here. But later when you said, okay, this worked, okay, then replace this cast with one of these alternatives so that there is no hard reference. And when you do this all time during your game development, then you have almost no hard cast in your project, which means it will already work faster than normal with this cast here. All right, I think that's enough for this video. If you have any question like all time, write it in the comment section. Again, see you in the next video. Bye, good luck, and like all time, never give it up and have fun.